Welcome. Dun, dun, dun. Welcome everyone to Wednesday, September 7th. I am really excited to have you guys joining joining me with me. Man, that tells you how underslept and overworked I am. It has been back to school week. It's been an emotional yin energy. It has been a lot of energy in the earth water space, predominantly water, where people are doing a lot of emotional dumping and catharsis. And that, of course, is kind of always a really heavy space. Come on, it's difficult. It's difficult to manage when everybody is emotionally heavy and feeling a lot of things. So I just got off of work and I had a cancellation, and that gave me this opportunity to come in and join in with you guys. Now, I have just reorganized all of my divination decks. I have all of my divination cards. I have all my oracle decks. I have all of my tarot stuff. Hello, Crystal. Hello, John. Hello, Maddie. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to open this like I pretend like I know where my things are, and I'm going to pull out my favorite, not my favorite, but the deck that I have been working with lately predominantly because of natural healing and holistics. And that is because my dad struggling with good pasture syndrome and just everybody going into the fall. We've got a big solar flare, people kind of being scared for the apocalypse. And as you guys know, I do collect tarot cards. I will go out and shop for you and find you your perfect tarot card, your perfect tarot deck. But I also have my own personal collection, and this deck is one that I really, really like. It is one that I found from an artist online that I was able to support. If you guys ever, have found an artist that you really just gravitated towards, you liked their medium and the way that they operated, and then you found their art. This guy did a tarot deck, and I really, really love it. So I have this tarot deck on hand to do free mini readings. One of the reasons I love it, it's got this kind of gold leafing. It's actually not gold, it's more orange or like a burnt orange color. When you get a look of it, it's just really pretty. It's really, really, really good to photograph. But I have already shuffled this deck. And you guys are listening. I've got this both going on like 12 different streams. So Twitter and YouTube and Facebook and Instagram for astrology and alchemy, for Paranormal Sarah, for the YouTube channels, for all of that, as well as some of the things that fill in for Odyssey Radio. And we do appreciate you listening, guys. If you are interested in a place to download and stream your podcasts for easy listening, check out Odyssey Radio. I feel like that's good. So I've got this deck here that I can always pull and do free mini readings for you. But you guys, if you joined me on Astrology and Alchemy last night, it's every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Central. You kind of know the astrology for the day. It's really, really crazy. We've got the moon in Aquarius. That is feelings of rules, restrictions, kind of breaking the rules, maybe even being open to expressing yourself and wanting to express yourself to others in a natural way, very charming and charismatic. And then that is trine Mercury and Libra, which means that you're going to want to kind of bend the moment. You're going to want to be diplomatic, a lot of influencers wanting to push for change, things that they want to see happening. And the shadow work, of course, that I have suggested for those following closely is snake magic. Be the change you want to see. Watch the shift happening, kind of stay back, a little bit hibernated, and just kind of see it moving. Crystal, I see you. And of course, it's very important that I get your permission before I do a reading of any kind. If you would like a private reading, you can go to paranormalsarah.com. But Crystal, let's pull a card for you. You would love to have a reading for your boyfriend and his birthday. So that's a little different. So before I even look at it, this is for another person. Why does it matter? It doesn't really. The point of the card, it's already pulled. Hmm. I want you to take a moment and I want you to think about, what could this card mean? What is this card? Do you do tarot? So, Crystal's boyfriend, you are getting a powerful card. Not a major arcana, meaning that if you subscribe to the Torah, to the Sephirot, to sacred geometry, that you would be looking at a major arcana, but that you would be looking for a minor arcana. This is going to be what you see in the 52 earth, water, air, fire breakdown of what you see in astrology. the Queen of Swords, a bear here kind of holding this mushroom. The Queen is a position. It's the nurturing position. It is the supportive, the right hand man, if you will. It's not the king. It's not the patriarch. It's not the hierarchy. It's not necessarily masculine, feminine, as much as it is left hand to right hand, receiving of the position that is in high reward. But of swords, this is air energy. So this is communication, this is messages. And right now we do have a lot in that Mercury space. So this means you're going to be getting a lot of information. Hi, Terry. Hi, John. This means that you are going to be getting information communicated to you, not only fairly, but in a way that is quite feminine. It's meant to nurture your long-term investments. It's meant to be something to take into account for sharp-witted. It could be very, very, very saucy. The Queen of Swords, I often think of Lagatha from Vikings. If you watch that show, she's about her family. She wants to keep things together. The Queen of Air, that's when you know that a divorce is best, even. It's kind of crazy how that energy is. Air is a contemplation, it is a discernment, really based on your sources. Know your sources well, and that you will accommodate as needed. Very, very, very special card for debates, arguments, misinterpretations, miscommunications being finally settled in a way that it's going to be to that person who really probably takes the upper hand to be a bitch. And unfortunately, that's just the way of the wind right now. So keep that in mind. Hopefully that's helpful. And guys, don't forget when you're doing divination of any kind, even a prayer, okay? Yes, your deity, who it's going to, matters. Where it's coming from matters. Intent matters. But then also the way in which you are doing it. So if this is divination, for example, the way in which you're doing it, which is listening through me, but also through these cards, that you would understand and appreciate that math and that repetitive patterns seen in the cards, no matter what deck it is. This is air, this is communication, and that how that kind of is represented in astrology right now as well, I think is pretty important. Makes it more objective. And it needs to be objective. I think divination needs to be objective. Hi, Christine. Hi, Wendy, Ashley. Good to see you guys. Thank you for joining us. And again, you guys, I am on a platform that allows me to see all the little trickle downs that I am on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and all the different channels. So if you have a question, if you would like a reading, if you'd like to give me permission to pull a card for you from this mushroom deck, let me know. Otherwise, you can always go to paranormalsarah.com and I can do a private reading for you there. You're very welcome, Crystal. I hope you have a wonderful birthday. Happy Virgo birthday to you. Hi, Pepper. Hi, Dawn. Welcome. It's good to see some familiar faces and some new people. That's kind of cool. I really do miss doing the Facebook Live sessions because I felt like we just had hundreds of people. It was a really good group to collaborate and introduce ourselves to new people, but StreamYard allows me to record the sessions, be a little bit more powerful in the moderation of many places. And whereas I don't feel like I see as many people in one space, I like the professionalism that it provides. So hopefully I am able to see you in the chat. And if not, direct message me, please, and let me know. Pepper, welcome. Said you would like a card. Absolutely. And don't forget, really be specific in what you're asking. Just as important as that divination going to and from, think about the question too that you're formulating. The more specific your question, the more specific your answer can apply. So Pepper, what is that question that you're thinking about? I've already pulled the card. I love this card. Now this is a major arcana card, meaning that if I had my poster board that's right there, the major arcana is based on the 22 pathways of life that we see in the tree of life, the Yggdrasil, if you're practicing yoga or Reiki or all sorts of really cool sacred geometry magic, even occult magic, you're going to be familiar with the Sephiroth. And that is the 22 pathways, and that is in the major arcana. Major arcana are indicative of major life things: divorce, marriage, children, career, graduation, death, birth, big life shifts. One of 22 shifts, in fact. This is the Empress, number 3. Usually in a deck, you start with 0 or 1, goes to the Fool, to the Magician, to the Empress. The Empress is the feminine beginning, the creativity, the nurturing, the planting of a seed in a way that is of the lifestyle and spiritual space. I love this card because it has trees. I think of Bob Ross. It has some depth. It's got some astrology, these beautiful mushrooms. The Empress is the lifestyle of nurturing. It is asking you to think about your life in a way of self care, but also agape. It is a way to think about how it is that you can nurture the things that you love and want to see more of in your life. And to not just do it because you believe it, not just do it because you know it's right, not just do it because it's the next thing to do, but to do it because that is your lifestyle. That is what you want to embody, mind, body, and spirit. The Empress is of a kind of a deeper space. And in the beginning, there was light. And that's kind of the space of the Empress, kind of stepping into what it is going to be about creation. And I really, really, really love how the Empress is an umbrella of the beginning in many spaces of your spirit journey. Not that this is the first time you've done it. That's not the beginning. The beginning in that this is a space of new change again. And hopefully you're using that awareness to find the best spot for you. So, Pepper, there you go. Christine, Sarah, another Virgo birthday here. Happy birthday. I'm a Virgo too. Yesterday, actually. Oh, happy birthday. And I give permission to pull a card for me. It is my monetary nightmare over. Well, the nightmare per se is not over for any of us until the first kind of relief we're going to see is Sunday morning. Wait, what? This Sunday? Yeah. This Sunday, we're going to start to feel a little bit of a relief. We're going to see some answers. There's going to be some indication of change in what direction things are going. So that's really cool. And Virgos and all other signs are thankful. It has been a shit show, and this fall is no different. This is a purge. This full moon coming up in Pisces, that's this Saturday night. A lot of emotional dumping this week, a lot of catharsis, ourselves and others just, and life change, needing to know why, needing to know where. This is really, really important. So yours maybe being monetary, is it over? Well, definitely not. But, ooh, this is a good sign. The Ace of Pentacles, the beginning, the seed, the intention, the spark, and then the beginning of Pentacles, which is earth energy. Pentacles is the building block, the diamond. If we were doing cartomancy and original, like divination with a deck of playing cards. Yeah, a diamond. The Ace of Diamonds. The beginning can also be the end if you're playing blackjack. It can be all the things you need because it's the spirit. It's the fulcrum. It's the latch in your necklace. Yes, it's the beginning, but it's the end. The alpha, the omega. And that is important if you know it, if you're aware of it, the comprehension of it. Knowing that it's Ace of Pentacles, the beginning of the beginning. This is a really good clean slate, a really good tabula rasa. So is the monetary nightmare over? Well, are you at 0? Have you cleared your debt? Have you paid back all that needs to be? Are you at an even keel? Because that's what the universe is going to be doing. That is where we are going to be at. Does that mean that you're going to be in a great wealthful success? For many people, loan forgiveness is a new beginning. And that is in many ways what I think the universe is also providing for you. This is a Rosetta Stone. This is a clean, clear slate. But with that is a beginning. So, yes, but please, please, please take that lesson that you've learned and grow with it. Pepper, you're very, very, very welcome. Field guy, okay, I ended my live stream. And football is back. It is. It's back this Sunday. If you haven't gotten your fantasy football leagues situated, get them situated. If you haven't pulled your special players, pull them now. You better get those things drafted. It is going to be the time, and the time's upon us. I'm super excited about Sunday. I love football. I am my father's daughter. I am an NFL fan through and through. I was an NAFL cheerleader, an NFL junior cheerleader, and I grew up. I think the whole reason that I can't tell time is probably due to football. If I say it's going to be 2 minutes, it's probably going to be about 15. And that's because I'm used to football. Being from Kansas City, I'm a Chiefs fan. And now living in Minnesota, I'm a Twins fan. But that means I'm used to losing and also used to having a few good players now and then. I grew up, my brother was best friends with Randy Moss in college. So also being a choreographer and cheerleader in the NFL and NAFL, I don't necessarily get like too starstruck on particular players. Like I was in the college realm with Shockey and some other people. Um, it's been really fun to see some of my own comrades, even through MU, go on to win Super Bowl rings their first year in the NFL, playing in New Orleans. But I have really enjoyed seeing. Um, yeah, I love NFL. I love American football. I'm a huge fan. So anyway, let me know who you're picking for your NFL. Who's your draft? Who's your secret sneak player? Who do you think you got to have on your team? And if anyone is listening and tuning in live right now and would like a free reading for any reason, you can keep your question to yourself even. That's how psychic stuff works. You don't have to be suggestive to me. I would actually prefer that you not. Um, it's funny when I started doing psychic readings, I was a little girl. My mom, my grandma, my sister, going to psychic fairs, doing psychic readings, being a psychic. I was more skeptical in nature. But then I got my psychology degree. And then I felt really guilty. Like, how do I know I'm not just cold reading people? How do I know I'm not using my education? And then I met a really wonderful mentor, Don Chitwood, among a few other people as well, that have helped me along my journey and have really encouraged me to use all my gifts to help someone. You know, all of those things, intuitive, perceptive, they're all very helpful to the same answer, same goal, same intention. So I don't have to kind of worry about the guilt of where the information is coming from. I'm extrapolating it. I'm giving it to you because you asked, but you do have to ask. So I am grateful that there are other things to do when Boorball is on. Oh, Christine. Boorball. I remember probably one of my favorite things about being a football fan is whenever I was a cheerleader and coach for Pop Warner for Little League football and dance teams across the country. And I was a coach there for almost 15 years for Pop Warner in the Midwest. And I'm proud to say that I led a handful of my teams to Midwest Nationals at Notre Dame. And I really love the process of getting to know the coaches, some of the football coaches, and just the Pop Warner staff, directors, people, volunteers, parents are all really cool. And yeah, being able to help young cheerleaders find an interest in football and then seeing them spend time with their dads was like probably one of the top five most um, rewarding experiences that I think coaching and volunteering has allowed. Um, a first and 10, a second, you know, second attempt to get 8 yards, and this is what they got to do. And what do you think? Oh, it's the fourth down. They're probably going to kick it away. What do you think they're going to do? What's going to happen next? Knowing when to cheer and how to cheer, because you got to teach the game to be able to cheer for the game. But then teaching just enough that they could watch it with interest and connect with the brothers and dads and other fans in their lives and not feel excluded. It's kind of one of those stereotypes and gender gaps that we experience, and that I was really glad to be able to dance between. And I love watching football. And even if you're not a football fan, you don't have a team that you love. Um, yeah. Field Guy says, "Who is the players that you knew that went to the Saints?" So I guess if you're a Saints fan, and I'm wondering if he still plays, I'm gonna have to check. um, it makes me really sad that I've lost track with some of the people that I graduated with. Um, And are they still active players for the Saints? Man, I'm gonna have to check. I don't think that he is. Moose. um, some really interesting players there. I'm sorry for the radio silence. I'm reading a PM that someone sent me. um, yeah, no, not for the St. Louis Rams. No, which I think would be, I'm not sure. I think that would be MM. Um, so yeah, uh, I have met most of the Super Bowl teams, and no one is left from the team playing now. So when I went to Mizzou and when I lived in Columbia, Chase Daniels was a dear friend of mine. And I used to help manage actually the baseball and MU accounts there. And a lot of the coaches, some of the amazing Pinkle and a few of the people there at that time, which was quite a while back. Um, but yeah, I haven't followed up with the individual people, and that makes me sad that I have not. I know Randy, I think, is still doing announcing. I'd have to check with my brother. Mary Beth, welcome. Hi. It's good to see you guys. I've had some funerals and deaths in the family and just kind of wild, weird things getting back to school that time of year that I haven't been able to come on live. But I wanted to today because we are back to the routine. It's day 2 back in school. So if that tells you how excited I am to be able to get back and do live streams and talk with you guys and do free readings, that should give you some idea. Um, so yeah, if you'd like a reading, Tammy, welcome. Ashley, Alyssa, Heidi. Yes, if you guys would like a reading, you can go to paranormalsarah.com. I do a range of them. I offer occult items, altar items, readings, haunted dolls, cool jewelry, things that you can give as gifts, but also personal readings ranging from like spirit guide readings. I have a really cool special right now if you're interested in getting my psychic and like interpretation of what guides I see for you. That's 88. So field guy, think Michael Irvin. Was one of my favorite 88s. Um, Infinity, numerology, 88. And that's a spirit guide reading, which will be an audio session where I give you all of my imprints and interpretations of who it is I see in your aura, kind of guiding you, names, characters, all sorts of things. Chase Daniels plays for the Chargers now. He was our backup quarterback in the Super Bowl. Wow, really? How many Super Bowls does that mean that he has been to now? 2, 3? Huh. Good for these people, man. I'm telling you, it's really good. Some of my classmates have committed suicide, and other people have gone on to win Super Bowl rings, more than one on more than one team. How about that? Isn't that crazy? The spectrum, it's really full. That's where my brain goes. Do you guys ever think of that? I'm going to be doing an episode for No Man's Land tonight, later on this evening, guys, and I really do hope that you will join me. I'm going to be doing that at 9 p.m. on Wednesday nights, and I'm a little nervous. Not going to lie. I know that YouTube will ban me. I know that my Instagram will probably ban me. And I'm very lucky that Odyssey Radio has picked me up and offered to carry that channel, regardless of what words I use, people I mention, or news I cover. So I'm thankful to be able to have a middle ground that's going to provide me the podcast and platform to carry No Man's Land, which I know for those of you wanting to get the news in a neutral, fun, entertaining way, to like hear the news but not have to feel right-sided, left-sided, this way or the other. If you are listening and tuning in and have been a longtime person with me, gosh, I've been doing podcasts now for almost 17 years. And live paranormal, live paranormal and darkness radio. I was looking at my resume the other day and realized, oh my God, it's almost been 2 decades. But yeah, and I'm in Central Time. So I'm here in northern Minnesota, north of the wall. So if you are in Central Time, that'll be 4:30 right now, 5:30, 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, 4.5 hours, where we are just going to cover the news headlines, talk about it, and in 50 minutes or less, cover it. So Crystal, that is 9 o'clock tonight, and that's going to be on Wednesdays, middle of the week, middle of the ground, no man's land. It's kind of a political, the grave truth. And I do hope you'll join me. And if there's anything you want to cover, if there's anything you'd like me to talk about, anything that you'd like to see listed on your, you know, news station, let me know. It's something fun that I hope to do. That'll be here wherever you're joining me now, whether that's on my paranormal YouTube. It'll also go out on the paranormal channel. It'll go out on Odyssey Radio. I'll have to double check on the time because it's not live on Odyssey. It's live on my personal streams, my website, my YouTube, the paranormalsarah.com related links. And then Odyssey Radio is going to carry it for me after adding the beginning and end intro. So it's a little bit more professional. So I'm really, really excited and thankful for that. And I'll get with you on the time for when it replays. Yeah, that'll be fun. Hopefully, you're not sleeping. Hopefully, it's not too late because I know that I listen to an array of news articles, news outlets, publications, and I I was even talking today. I get kind of frustrated. A mentor of mine who is again in the news outlets being completely lambasted, and I find it to be terribly unfair and inaccurate. And so to even be able to put, a little bit of discussion on the matter, you look at left leaning and they're just, really, really horrible. And you look at right leaning and they're really, really horrible. And I struggle to really get any of the news. So I'm hoping to be able to bring you some of that with just the information and the emotions to the side. So hopefully you'll join me on that, or at least share and care. Mary, yeah, all the stupid violence. There has been some really crazy things happening in metro areas all across the nation, not just Minneapolis. So hopefully we've been unscathed, but it's hard to say. Um, Field guy says, man, I'll usually be up, but I like to fall asleep to Scotty's stream. Scotty Roberts, one of my all-time favorite podcasters, truly storyteller and audiobook reader extraordinaire. Scotty Robert is fantastic. Pepper says, I'd really like to talk about monkey pax. I'm assuming pox, but maybe you didn't pox. There we go. POX, monkey pox. Um, sure, there's all sorts of different diseases that are, I would honestly say if I was going to be focused on anything or concerned on anything, I'd be a little bit more interested in the upper respiratory SARS-2 virus coming out that we're seeing in low-level mammals, rats and shrews particularly. It's able to yeah. New York subways. Anyway, the shrew SARS-2 in China would be something to keep my eye on. Monkeypox, not so much. That's been killing thousands of people in Africa for decades. Um, so it's not necessarily something that I want to, undermine. It's not any illness or disease, especially for those who get greatly affected or even die. That's horrific. But I kind of treat monkeypox a lot like I would do like chickenpox or other related viruses that are usually going to be, epidermis. If you can take a shower, if you can keep your open sores and lesions clean, you have access to water, the ability to keep fluids in your body, you're going to be okay. You're probably going to be all right. First world problems are not true problems in the scope of things, but because we are going into a recession, of course, all things are of a concern. So I wouldn't be worried about monkeypox. I'd be worried about the shrew issue. But we'll talk about some of that later tonight on No Man's Land. And I do hope you will join me. And definitely direct message me your thoughts or sites or links or things that you'd like to see mentioned. Some things will be probably the inner earth exploration, some of the really cool big holes going on. We've got Pakistani floods. We've got volcanoes and earthquakes in China and other major Asian cultures that are going to like greatly affect certain major things, non-asset related stock items, stuff like that. So hopefully we'll just be able to cover the news in a well-rounded way, and I hope to see you there. But anyway, if you have any requests for a reading right now, if you'd like me to pull you a card, a mushroom deck card. The mushroom deck, you can get your own now. Oh, at the time, it was kind of an exclusive thing that they were doing on a GoFundMe back when GoFundMe was the thing. It's happened in 2020. Chris Adams is the artist, and I just love it. I just love it. If you're a spore fan, a fungi fan. If you like to go foraging, you'll probably really appreciate this deck. I know I do. And I love the art. It's not even the mushrooms that I would have picked either. But yeah. So I need good luck. Can I have a card? Says Field Guy. Yes, you may. Boom. Good luck. Good luck. Luck about what? Man, I mentor people wanting to do advanced occult magic work, and luck is one of those areas that is difficult. You can't directly affect luck. You have to be kind of one or two steps indirectly away from it. It's like playing Kerplunket. You have to do the statistics, you have to do the work, you have to see what it is that you can affect around luck. How and where does luck take place? This card is the Six of Wands. This is nostalgia. Six, first time, independent, doing something the second time around. You've got lessons to bring with you, but this is in Wands. So this is an action. This is what it is that you're going to be doing. This is likely that you've taken on a new project, but it's a project you've done before. You restarted that old band. You reignited that old business idea. You restarted cleaning up that garage that you had plans to do for years and years and years, but now you're doing it again. But now this time it's different. The six is the first finger on the second hand. It's the second wave of doing something. You have information and maturity and wisdom this time around, but there are still some limitations on, like, well, when I did this the first time, when I was in school, like nostalgia can limit you because you get stuck with the delusions of what once was. It was, it is not is. So, wands. What are you doing, Field Guy? I wonder what it is that you are enacting, what project it is that you're working on. This says that you're going to have some success. It's going to be fun. You're bringing some of that nostalgic energy, but be willing to listen to new ideas as well. Be open to new perspectives if need be. Mary, we are waiting to hear from the vet about our daughter's cat. Oh, Mary, I hate to hear that. I send you good luck and I send you all the good energy I can. I will be honest with you right now, as Neptune in Pisces. We are in a waxing moon towards Pisces. There's a lot of emotional bullshit building, craziness building, wild things building, stuff coming out of the woodwork. When it rains, it pours. And when it pours, it floods. And when it floods, it gets worse. And oh my God, the damage. It's going to peak this Saturday night. It's going to get better this Saturday morning. And I do. I think that if you can hang in there until then, it's going to look good. I'm going to clean up the garage and my own room again. So this is a good thing, says Field Guy. Good, good, good. Good clean, fall clean, a purge. I myself am trying to do a purge. I'm going to be posting a lot of really cool occult and altar items on my Paranormal Sarah and Facebook Marketplace later this week. If you guys are looking for some things, check me out. I'm a Pisces. I think we cause stuff. Pisces is one of my favorite. Well, I mean, they're all my favorite, but when I look back and I think, gosh, it's mutable. It's mutable like me, like a Virgo. It's on that lower rung, meaning that it is quite influential. It loves to hold hands in the Red Rover, Red Rovers, and Sharon right over. It's holding hands with people that it likes. Pisces is holding hands with earth and air, and it's a water sign. So it's the feeler. It's the empathetic, compassionate, really cares about the feelings, but both holding on to the thoughts and the words of others. So it is stretched between those two areas. And I can appreciate a Pisces for bringing the emotions into play where they need to be. So I'm not a Pisces. Do I have anything in me that's a Pisces? I don't know. I don't think so. My birth chart is pretty earthbound. So if you guys would like a full birth chart reading, don't forget Matt Slozier, who is my master astrologist. He joins me on Tuesday nights for my podcast on astrology. We break down the statistics and magic of astrology, and he does a great job. He's always telling me what to expect. And I know I'm in a shitstorm. That's why I'm not completely losing my shit. I know I'm in it. I know about how long I'll be in it. I know when it's going to start to look better. I know what themes are going down and crashing, and I've kind of, in some ways, expected it for a little bit of time. I've seen it coming. The stars told me. But just because I have the map of Disneyland doesn't make it any less of a shit show while I'm in it. So, Field Guy says, "Man, Matt needs to love Pisces already." And you know what's funny? And I'm going to give a little Secret about Matt. I've worked with Matt for many years. We've done paranormal investigations and parapsychological research together for a long time. And he's an international business chemist. So he works with international companies making their businesses better in a way that's on a like chemical electrical engineering level. He's absolutely genius. So I call him the executioner in his professional spaces. And in astrology, when we're doing occult magic together and kind of hashing things out or talking about things and how to execute them in a more objective way, he helps me to see things in different ways. And water energy, this is just really ironic. He is just not an emotional person. I work with psychopaths, so it's kind of funny that he's very apathetic, and I can work very, very well with that energy because the level of professionalism and seriousness and focus is there. But getting him to cry, I've often told him that, like, that's my lifelong endeavor is to see him cry. Which, as a psychic and as a counselor working in forensics, doing interrogations, getting someone to cry, sometimes that's a win. That's a W. And with Matt, I would never, ever obviously want to see him in pain because he's a dear friend. But if I could get him to cry, it'd be a win. And so when you say he needs to love Pisces already, that's what I think of when I think of water energy and some of his um, aversions to it. Every time I get enough money for a reading, something comes up, says Mary. Gosh dang it. Isn't that the truth, though? And every time that something comes up, I need I need a reading done. It's no worries, it's no hard feelings. And money comes and goes. It flows through us freely. I like to remember that money is nothing if it's just in my pocket, and I love to invest in my friends and family when I can. But your fur family and your fur babies are very important to you. So whenever the universe allows is whenever that reading will unfold exactly as it should. Um, I know, and Matt says he doesn't hate water signs. He doesn't, but he just does not empathize, and I really love that. I love that energy. It makes me think of a cat at the edge of the ocean on the beach, kind of prancing with the water line. It's funny to watch the repelling of emotion. Um, Whereas I'm someone who can cry at the drop of a hat. If I'm ever on the Jimmy Fallon show and they ask me to cry, I can pull up a memory really quickly that plucks at my sebaceous glands and my tear ducts, and I can just weep from every pore of my body if I need to. And I welcome it. So thank you. And I appreciate that comment. Um, Pepper, I just love that. Mary, thank you guys. Jonah, Tara, welcome. Those of you on Instagram, I appreciate seeing you. Michael, Salonius, welcome. One of my favorite Rastafarian Jewish Australian policemen. So good to see you in the chat. If you guys would like a custom card, please let me know. Mary says, man, I can cry watching Moana. Not even kidding. The scene where the water breaks and she runs over. I know your name. That part, I cry at that part. Armageddon. Dad, Daddy. Hey, sweetheart. I can't. Robin Williams and What Dreams May Come. Nope. Like I can just take a few moments and immediately think of just a few scenes, and I'm there. I'm there. So, yeah, not a problem. Matt, though, man, he's locked. He's on lockdown, and I can appreciate that. Um, yeah, good to see you. Thank you, Pepper, for your comments. I appreciate that. And Mary, yes, good energy to your cat. Um, I don't even like to think about vet bills. My husband brought home the fingernail clipper because I used to be able to cut my dog's fingernails, no issues. I actually used to brag about it. Like, look what I can do. Suddenly, out of the middle of nowhere, I don't know if it was like one nail. I didn't cut it too short or anything, but like just one nail one time. Now he won't do it. He won't let me, even if I'm like bribing him with peanut butter on my forehead, pepperoni on the carpet. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can't even hold him in the right spot for him to do it. He's a big dog. I'm gonna have to pay somebody now, which is just ridiculous. But so my husband brought home that machine from like Menards that you put the fingernail in and it like it grinds it. That's a joke. That also does not work. Um, and I can't even think about vet bills. So when the grandmother tells her there's nowhere you can go that I won't be. In Moana, I love Moana. If you've not seen it, by the way, it's a animated children's movie that's really, really, really powerful. And like, I believe is it Samoan? Please correct me if I'm wrong. Mythology, like South Pacific, beautiful islander mythology. And I love their creation stories from lava and the islands. And um, I love the dance and the movement and the language. Mm, Moana, it's very well done, I thought. And I love the grandma character, the town shaman, and she is crazy and likes the waves and is seen as a manta ray. And when you think about spirit familiars or animals or interpretations or personas of, just how your spirit is after you pass, how it shows itself and manifests in other areas. The movie Moana does that very, very well. I love that. I I love the manta ray. With the exception of them stabbing Steve Irwin in the heart, yes, it is a generalization of them all. They're all guilty by association. I love them. So yes. Hawaiian Islanders, Maui, I don't think it was Hawaiian though. I think it's it'll bother me. It's not Samoan. I don't know. I'm not 100% certain. But I adore it. And I can recognize the tattoo art. I can recognize even some of the recipes, like the stuffed banana shoot pate type stuff that I've seen in some of just the travels that I vividly remember through sensuality, and I love it. Anyway, hi, Three Souls Paranormal. Welcome. You guys, if you are still lingering, if you're still joining us, thank you so much. It's been almost 40 minutes now, so I know it's been some time. But before we jump off here, if you want a tarot reading right now, I have a bunch of decks. So if you have a deck in particular that is speaking to you, you want more occult, you want more geometric, you want more pagan, you want more Christian, whatever. Christian, I know, right? This is my mushroom tarot. And the reason I pulled that is because recently I was doing some ghost pipes. I was doing some tinctures. I was doing some foraging and Polynesian mythology, says Brianna. Is that the correct nomenclature? The Polynesian mythology. Polynesian? Is it Polynesian? Not Samoan? Not South Pacific? Fucking bothers me that I don't 100% know. It's the Virgo in me that feels like I need to know. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Hi, Brianna. But if you would like a mushroom deck from Chris Adams, this is his tarot deck that he's done and designed. I really like it. And I love doing divination with tarot because it's a little bit more objective than I think some of the other forms of divination where it's more open to interpretation. Tarot is numerology and so many other things. Brianna said, that's what the Google article says. Well, then I guess that's what you should go with. I don't know. I don't know for certain. It would almost make me wonder if you're looking at Moana, like Googling what is Moana based on. It says Polynesian mythology. Okay. How did we even get here? I don't know. I'll tell you what though. In the 6 degrees of separation, when I think of Moana, I also think of Flight of the Conchords. And that makes me happy. And that makes me laugh. Okay, guys. Last call for anybody who would like for me to pull a tarot card for them. It's free. Usually you would pay for my time. Why? Because I almost have a doctorate and I'm a mother of 2 and my time is valuable. But right now it's free. Right now I want to pull cards for you. Right now it's always practice. It's always collaboration. It's always being able to just have fun with you guys. We got here by talking about feelings. Pepper. Right? I don't know how we got here. By talking about our feelings. Okay, let's pull a card for all of us before we head out here. Oh, good. This is a good one. So I know if you guys have joined me on Tuesday nights for the astrology, you're going to join me tonight at 9 for the No Man's Land. Right now, this is the Ace of Wands. This is the beginning of fire. Give me fuel, give me fire. And wands is action. That's going to be like your spears or your spades if you were no clubs. Clubs in a playing card deck. It's your action. It's what you're beating someone with. It is your musical instrument. It's your tool. It's your way of. It's your voice. It's your action. It's your purpose. It's the final step. It's your behaviors. And that this is the beginning of those behaviors. This is the beginning of what you're about to do. This is the beginning for all of us here, because this is a card for all of us, that we are about to embark on a new journey, a new adventure, a new step, a new first step. And that these actions are really going to be indicative of our future to come. And so these first few steps that we're taking out into kind of a new space, to be bold, to be confident, to know that we're not doing it alone. Many people are reclusing right now. Many people are struggling right now. And true, we are too. But that doesn't mean that we're not going to put one foot in front of the other and keep moving, because we are. So I'm excited to see what that means for you and me differently. But I do know that we're going to be moving in the same direction and with momentum together and purpose and intent. And that's really exciting. So, you guys, if you would like a reading of your own, if you'd like a private special reading, or if you'd like to take part in that spirit guide session where I give you an audio recording of all the psychic imprints that I am seeing for you, tattoos, guides, musics, archetypes, all of that stuff, you can find me at paranormalsarah.com, or you can direct message me wherever you're listening right now. And don't forget tonight, please tune in wherever you're at. Sign up for notifications for No Man's Land at 9 p.m. Central, where we go online to talk about just some news headlines, and just some middle of the area, dancing in the gray, having fun discussion about what is going on in the world around us without losing our shit when we talk about it. So I hope to see you then, guys. Have a wonderful Wednesday afternoon. And until next time.